in 2007, 2009, you see a very big critique that, as well as in undergraduate teaching, as in graduate teaching, that there is no scientific literacy being developed in students. They get courses, they take an exam, they throw away the book, they move to the next course. They take an exam, they throw, sometimes literally, they even have burning parties of their courses. Okay? It's like after Christmas that you burn the Christmas tree. Okay? They have the same after the exams. And especially this, there's a lack of involvement in knowledge creation. They become consumers of knowledge. They see the end product of research. They study the end product, but they never actually are involved, in fact, in the design of knowledge, the development. So they may get this introduction to the domain knowledge, sometimes 100%, okay? And it's completely isolated from the actual research going on. So when we interview, for instance, students, and when we ask them, do you know what research your professor is doing? What is the answer? What would be the answer here? I don't know. Sorry, that's a pity. That's a pity. It's like you have a double life. That you have a kind of mistress, a scientific mistress. For the man, of course. So it's strange. The job of a professor is, of course, partly introduction to knowledge, but the job of a professor is especially research and having this link. For instance, when I restarted, because I started a long time ago at Ghent University, and I went away for 11 years, I came back. The first time I did, I cut back about 60% of the work in the department because it was all teaching and nobody was doing research. So all the teaching being done was not grounded in research. Can you believe that? They were teaching things oh yes, maybe it's true. Yes? And I know for every study saying A, I have a study saying B. You know that? That's the nice thing of scientific research. So we moved away from this by entering, in fact, to that. A second critique is that when you look at current innovations of education, they are mostly concerned with how to teach. Okay, a lot of technology, ICT use, electronic learning environments, but it didn't change this. It didn't change this focus on knowledge transmission. Very strange. On the other hand, if you use technology, you could do much more, much more. So let's look and move to that research-based learning approach. Well, it started especially at Warwick University. A little bit history, okay. And what they do is, they, in fact, on top of scientific knowledge domain presentation, introduction. Okay. I didn't say lecturing, teaching. No, you get an American manual or you develop a reader based on research articles. On top of that, you have extra activities. And the teaching strategy they use, the teachers, it's in fact teaching strategies derived from the research cycle. I will give you examples in a minute. Okay. And they build completely on this empirical research cycle. So it means that the team of professors, the team, yes, not the individuals, the team, they elaborated for their domain, their research cycle, and for every course they present to the students, for every course, imagine we have, for instance, semester 1 here. Semester 1, let's have 6 courses of 5 credits. Okay? They explicitly link a course to specific steps in the research cycle. You will see it's not difficult to do. Okay? But, and this is a lot. It could even be data cleaning processes. You also have these master students coming to you and they say, it doesn't work, my analysis. It doesn't work. Please help. And they said, yes, but can I first look at your data? And then you see, for instance, the data should range between 0 and 5 for a certain variable. And then you see a value of 9 and 10. Oh, sorry, I typed wrongly. I entered the data wrongly. I said, sorry, thank you. This means that your data are not clean. And then you do, for instance, you do a path analysis, and it doesn't work. Yes, professor, I also discovered it doesn't work. And I said, but do you have missing data? Missing data. What's that? You know, there's these holes in the cheese. So cleaning. So that's why we ourselves discovered we have students now, 5th year at university, and they ask these stupid questions. You know, I even succeed with these 5th year students to ask them to calculate the average gender of their study sample. Yeah? Okay, take a pencil and now we get an exercise. If a lady gets a 0 and a man gets a 1 and the average gender is 0.75, can you make a drawing of a person with the gender 0.75? Actually, it happened. Why? Because these students were not introduced continuously, in fact, to working with data. No, it was only at the end when finally, it's comparable, for instance, to the old medical teaching approach. First you had 6 years of theoretical training, and then you saw your first bloody patient. And then you had all these students fainting. Okay? Oh, patient! It's bloody, it's messy. Okay? Or engineers, okay, who only saw their first engine in the 5th year. Okay? And then the professor took away the engine and said, and now let's do the calculations. And all these students were looking in love to that engine. Okay. No, changes. Now, for instance, this here is a typical cycle, a knowledge cycle, a research cycle, but in nursing. Okay? I am not imposing a cycle. You have to develop your own cycle in your domain. For instance, here you have different focus because they have much more in the nursing, they have to build much more on patient files. You don't have patient files when you're doing mining, for instance. I hope you don't have patient files. So you will see that in the examples I give that when you switch to that approach, a lot is changing. First of all, the content. What will you present to the students? And then I get the following remark. I will not be able to give my complete book to the students. And then I say, I'm very happy you're not able to give. Okay, and why not a 2nd book, or a 3rd book, or a 4th book? You have to introduce them to the domain. Okay? So the content will be smaller, focused, more focused on the structure of the knowledge phase. The build-up, okay? It will not be 12 lectures, one after the other, with in every lecture another chapter. No, for instance, you have 2 introductory lectures and then action. The nature of evaluation, I will give you examples. Will you present a multiple choice test? Or a written exam? What about research reports? What about a communication strategy? What about a conference with stakeholders of the community involved? For instance, I also teach a lot in the art domain. There the exams, we have people from musea present in the exams. Okay? The types of interaction between student staff, I refer to the Chinese situation, they become your co-researchers. By the way, we even apply RBL now, research-based learning, at undergraduate level. I have groups of 350 students doing this. But I have another relationship with them. And a critical balance between the knowledge you need and the research activities. And it's continuously, we feed them with new knowledge and they apply it. New knowledge, apply. New knowledge, apply. And then, very important, I need tremendously good working ICT tools.